Hi everybody, this is Brenda.
Hi.
The last time I saw Brenda, she was on cardboard in Manhattan. That was what? 2-3 years ago. Yeah, it was 2016, I think.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. She was homeless in New York City, and now I'm in her apartment. We're not going to talk too long about her homelessness. I'll link below. You can watch that video. But one of the things you guys ask for all the time is updates. And Brenda, her story of homelessness is amazing, and her story of being housed is amazing. So I'm just grateful that she invited me over. I happen to be speaking at a college close by. But one thing in her first video that is towards the end, and I want to start off with this because it's so important that we understand it, and she tells it in this great story. Tell me about the woman mentioning your lipstick.
Well, I sit by Penn Station, and as the concert leaves out, all the people pass me by to go to their cars or wherever they're going afterwards. And I overheard a woman say to her husband, "Oh, did you see that homeless woman over there? She's wearing lipstick." And so I stood up and I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "That bothers you that I'm wearing lipstick? Oh my gosh. You have a house, a husband, and a home, and you're bothered by a homeless woman that's wearing $3 tube of lipstick? Really?" I just thought that was so petty and a cheap shot.
And there's this thing about people experiencing poverty that many of us look down and say, "Oh my gosh, you shouldn't have lipstick, you shouldn't have nail polish, you shouldn't have a phone that will help you get out of homelessness." It's just crazy.
It is, and you mentioned the phone because a woman said that to me about having a phone once, and it was like, that's my lifeline to 911. That's my way to resources. We have doctors, appointments. I mean, I just can't believe the ignorance of the community out there, and to be that ignorant about someone having a free phone that the government provides for homeless.
Now, Brenda got herself out of homelessness. The story is amazing because you planned all this. And she even talked about it in the first video, and you made this happen.
Yes, I did. I was in San Diego for 7.5 years, and my very first check, I took a train for 4 days back to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I applied for the apartment that I had to wait 1 year and 6 months for. I used to work in the area at the chocolate factory. I made peanut butter cups and Kit Kat bars, and and I also lived on Cocoa Avenue and worked a lot at the West Shore for temp agencies, and I knew the area, and I'm born in Pennsylvania, and I got the apartment.
That's great. I mean, but she had to wait for it. Now, a lot of people have this false belief that homeless people can get themselves out of homelessness. The leading cause of homelessness is a lack of affordable housing. Brenda was smart enough, conscious enough, and had experienced this local community that she knew that there was independent living that you could apply for. You just had to wait.
Because I'm 61, yeah.
Right.
And also my age, I knew being a senior citizen that it opens up the market to more availability.
But in many communities, there's not a low-income housing like there is here.
No, in California, I could have never got a housing, or New York.
Or New York.
Or New York. That's
and
right.
That is something that you guys all have to help with. You've got to advocate for more affordable housing and more housing for seniors.
Yes,
There's
absolutely.
so many more people outside that are elderly, and
well, yeah, but I took a loss coming here too, because I lost the beautiful environment of California, the warm temperature, the sunshine,
Yeah.
You know, so I'm going to be freezing. I'm going to be in terrible pain because of the weather. But it was a trade-off, you know. Either I wanted housing or I was going to wait years. So I took housing.
And before, I know people are going to say, well, everybody could just move. Not everybody can just move here. Most people, if they could afford a train or a bus, would just be homeless in another city. It just doesn't work that way. Brenda, you know, if you watch the first video, she's disabled. But she had a plan. She had a plan for years that you executed.
Yeah, I was just
brilliant.
waiting on my money, which I should have had 8 years ago. I should have never been denied my money. So all those years I put out there was because of Social Security and because of a bus driver injuring my legs, ruining my legs.
So Brenda started something that I've never seen before. Now, there was one girl, she started a YouTube channel. One girl that I interviewed, she started a YouTube channel to address comments. There's been people that have done different things, but Brenda started commenting on her own video and making friends. I mean, I would see these, Brenda, well, that's Brenda, and she's commenting with people, and that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I reached out to update what was going on, or, you know, they wanted to know something about me, I would tell them, or, you know, it raises public awareness about homelessness, and it first of all shouldn't be at all in America. It really shouldn't. We shouldn't have any homelessness in America. And you know, I enjoy that people cared enough, and I'm the working class, and there I was on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Now, my favorite story is a young girl named Natalie and her mom. They were visiting New York, and we have to go back a little bit, which I just learned last week, because there's another friend of mine who works in research in homelessness in the medical field, had told the young girl, you need to look at invisible people, which she did, but then the mother and the daughter, I might not have it exactly right. I'll link to the email the mother sent me down below. But they were walking out of Penn Station, and Natalie, the young girl, gets all excited. That's Brenda. That's Brenda. And then you guys became friends.
Yes, yeah. Her mother approached me and said, my daughter saw your video and she just has to meet you. She fell in love with you. And I was just so happy that someone cared and they paid attention to what I had to say. And she sings. She's a wonderful singer, and she sends me videos of her singing, and they're just beautiful people, and they've been very good to me. Yeah.
They helped you buy a bed.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They had it delivered.
Oh, that's
when I moved
great.
in.
And
Yeah.
that's so amazing, because here, you know, that really is the power of invisible people, is that somebody that's viewing the video takes action because they've changed, which is what happened to Natalie and Natalie's mom and probably all the people they know.
Yeah, they made a difference in my life, and we still talk. I still email them. Yeah, they might come and visit me too.
Yeah, they knew
They
that.
said they might come and visit
they
me.
knew
I
that
hope
I
they
was
do.
coming, so you had told them.
Yeah, I told them you were coming.
And that is so, oh my gosh, so amazing. But Brenda, she's been here since May. She has a bed. There's no TV, no pots and pans. She has kind of a stool and a table. There's a plant that you kind of salvaged.
Yeah, I saved it. Someone had sort of let it go, so I brought it back to life.
So I'm going to put a GoFundMe down below. It's Brenda's. All funds go directly to her. And she could use some help making this place a home. Oh, it's great that you're indoors.
Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, never again. Never.
But she could
Great.
use some help, a TV, pots and pans. She'll list it in the GoFundMe. I'll list it in the description, things that she needs. And maybe there's different ways of getting her the stuff she needs. But at the end of the month, after she pays rent, things are really tight. She made it this month just barely, but if you can, this is a success story, a strong, courageous woman who really,
I lived on my faith. I did. I slept. It was like, people are like, how can you sleep out there? I'm going to sleep. I'm tired. That's just what I did. And God was always, obviously, He was always with me. There's no doubt about it. There's just no doubt about it.
What would you want to say to anybody that's homeless that might be watching this?
Well, if they set their mind to it and have any source of income, apply for low-income housing, not in a major city. If you have family members or friends anywhere, do your research on the computer, where it's affordable. And, you can get in, you can get a place.
And what would you want to say to people that are housed? Like, where you were in New York, there was probably several thousand people that walk by you every day.
Oh, all the time. Yeah.
Every day.
Every day, yeah.
What would you want to say to them?
A lot of them stopped and gave me a banana, or somebody bought me breakfast or a cup of coffee, and a lot of them knew I was waiting to get an apartment in Hershey. I think because I got different dates and they changed, first it's October, then it's next year, it's February, then no, it's March, and I think they wondered if it was really going to happen or what was going on there, but I did get in, and I take care of my place, and I'm grateful. I'm very thankful. I'm writing a book. I learned a lot about myself and about people in the last 8 years. And something interesting about people is they hear what they want to hear. They don't really hear what you say when you're homeless. You don't hear what a homeless person says. Because you might go by and I might say, well, have a nice day, or that's a pretty outfit. And they'll say, no, I don't have any money. I didn't ask for any. That isn't what I was saying, but they'll hear what they want to hear.
Wow.
So open up your mind a little bit, and if you got a sweater in the closet you're not using, take it to them, and they'll be very grateful to have it. Winter's coming.
Yep. It is getting cold. It is getting cold. Now, what would you want to say to the people that walked by you that didn't help, that didn't give you a banana, that didn't?
Well, there was the majority of them, I mean, most certainly, is, I think a lot of them didn't help me because they didn't believe I was homeless, or they didn't think I needed help because I take a shower. That's deceptive. People always need something, and, you might not have enough to eat for the month, or, there were days I didn't, so don't think that you can't help someone or they don't need help, because they certainly do. And maybe there might be one person that doesn't appreciate it, or that, throws it out on the street that you gave them a sandwich. Sometimes that'll happen, but that's rare. That's very rare, because when I had food, believe me, there were many friends that would come over and say, hey, you got a sandwich? You got a banana? And I would hoard my stuff because I always shared. And they knew, and there were a few times they'd come by and I'd say, no, I don't have anything today. They weren't helping, and I felt bad, because now instead of a few hungry people, there's a lot more hungry people. So there's a lot of people out there, and it takes a lot to help.
How was the transition coming into housing? Was it hard? Because you're out on the streets and you have your friends, you have all these people around, you have busyness of New York City, and here you've got quiet and space, but you're alone.
I was really happy for that. I was
good.
waiting for that. I couldn't wait to be alone and collect my thoughts, and I was just every day thanking God and saying, oh, I got a roof over my head, and I'm in my bed, and I was so happy. And I've had it before the accident and everything, but it's there were some people, they're very nosy and judgmental, so I had told one or two that I'd been homeless, and their advice was, I really wouldn't tell people if I were you. And it's like, that kind of clammed me up a little, but it's who I am, and it's what happened, and I'm writing a book about it, and I just don't really talk about it anymore because I figure maybe I just leave it where it was, leave the sleeping dog lie. But as far as, I think every day it's like Christmas, because I'm like, oh, I got a roof this winter. I could put heat on, and because I ended up in the hospital with pneumonia and the flu at Mount Sinai in New York, and I'm just so grateful.
Yeah, and you were telling me earlier that when the weather gets really bad, they would allow you to stay in Penn Station.
Well, that's just so unfair because Mayor de Blasio allows you, but the police and Amtrak police hate you, and they make you walk. And I can't. I'm handicapped. I can't walk constantly. My legs will lock up. I have chronic pain. I haven't been in pain management for almost 3 years. And, they're just so mean, and it's horrible because I got kicked on my bad leg. And yes, I got very verbal with the police officer from Amtrak because you don't touch it, number one, and it is chronic. And it was the wrong way to handle the situation. And all those people have to walk all the time. And it makes you sleep deprivation. You can't think straight. You can't answer straight. You get confused. And they're just so evil. And that was very hard for me because I would have to go outside and lay on the concrete to get off of my legs. And I literally did when it was like 5 below zero. I went outside and laid on the concrete.
I can't imagine.
That's how I ended up with pneumonia and the flu.
I can't imagine.
It was because of them. And it's such a fake barrier because one says you're allowed and the rest say, well, we're going to tear you up while you're in here. And you can't keep moving. You just can't. No one can physically. Maybe in your, Navy SEAL or special ops or something.
Or even then.
Can be disciplined, but at some point you're going to sleep anyway. Like you said.
Because it's for months and months and months. It's not.
Yeah.
Even for a week or
and
even
rain,
1 month. It's
even
for
heavy,
months and months and months.
And heavy rain because you're outside, and if you get soaked and your clothes are soaked, well, you're definitely, and it happens, and you're going to get pneumonia and sick from that.
Well, what I really loved watching your journey because you would tell people on the YouTube channel, and that's not, Brenda kind of morphed the YouTube comments on her video to what she wanted, and she would leave updates. She would let people know, I'm going into Penn Station. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be there. You left updates all along. It was actually wonderful.
Yeah, because sometimes the people would leave a comment, I'm coming into the city. Can I see you? I actually met a woman from what country? I met like 2 that saw my video from other countries that found me, that actually found where I was and bought me lunch and talked to me about what happened.
Weren't you scared?
Scared?
Meeting strangers? Well,
I stayed there. I stayed where I was.
Yeah.
I mean, or, the restaurants were right there. I was always out in public and that, but no, I was never scared. Most people were really kind and helpful and receptive to me. I was down by Target and some professional with a camera. I don't know if they were local or from another country had cameras, and they were videotaping me for quite a while, and I don't ever know who they were or ever never saw them again, but they probably wondered what happened to me.
Yeah, I'm so, there's a lot of, that's why I always ask for permission. Yeah. It's a respect thing, and it has nothing to do with homelessness. If it's anybody, you ask permission if they're going to be identifiable, so.
Yeah. I actually wanted to be because I felt like my story could help someone.
Right.
And I wanted to see how, your life could be fine one day and, something unforeseen can change it and turn your world upside down. Work and graduate college and then get older and then boop, there it went,
Right.
And it wasn't right at all what happened in California, but I've moved on. I've moved on.
So what now? I mean, we got to get you some stuff in this apartment. You need a car.
Yes.
If anybody out there is She needs a car to get to doctor's appointments and grocery
store,
shopping,
church. I
different
would love
things.
to
I know
have a
that's a
car.
big one. Pots and pans and
TV.
carpet and different things. She needs a TV. I mean, I know people say that's a luxury, but when you're here, she can't go anywhere. She's disabled. You need something to occupy yourself.
Yeah, I don't get far. I mean, when I first came, I was able to walk further than I am now.
Yeah.
And I guess that was from being here, just the
Yeah.
excitement of it all and everything. But I was walking pretty far, but that kind of got short-lived. I can't really do it again. And when I did it, the one day, the nurses were in the back, and my blood pressure was like 203 over 115, and they were like, "Oh, you can't be doing that."
Yeah.
So, yeah, they doubled my medicine, but I can't. I can only walk a few blocks. I can't get very far. So.
Oh my gosh, it's so great seeing you.
Yeah, it's nice to see you.
I know we've kept track in YouTube comments.
So happy to be here. Yeah, I love talking to the people out there. I really do. They asked me to do a channel, but I don't know how. If I knew how, I would do it.
Yeah. Well, you should do it.
I do have a channel, but I don't know how to do anything with it. You have to show me someday.
We'll figure it out. I gotta come
or
back.
Or you could do it for me or whatever.
Well, I think we'll figure out a way of making it for you. And I'm just, the saying is tinkled pink. The moment I saw you, because sitting on the cardboard and oh my gosh, it's so wonderful.
A lot different, huh?
it's so wonderful. Any last words?
Just know that I'm so thankful that journey's over, and if I could wish it for every person out there on cardboard, I would.
Yeah.
I really would.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Mark.